The Big Bang Theory recurring themes and elements. Science. Much of the series focuses on science, particularly physics. The four main male characters are employed at Caltech and have science-related occupations, as do Bernadette and Amy. The characters frequently banter about scientific theories or news, notably around the start of the show, and make science-related jokes. Science has also interfered with the characters' romantic lives. Leslie breaks up with Leonard when he sides with Sheldon in his support for string theory rather than loop quantum gravity. When Leonard joins Sheldon, Raj, and Howard on a 3-month Arctic research trip, it separates Leonard and Penny at a time when their relationship is budding. When Bernadette takes an interest in Leonard's work, it makes both Penny and Howard envious and results in Howard confronting Leonard, and Penny asking Sheldon to teach her physics. Sheldon and Amy also briefly end their relationship after an argument over which of their fields is superior. David Saltzberg, who has a PhD in physics, has served as the science consultant for the show for 6 seasons and attends every taping. While Saltzberg knows physics, he sometimes needs assistance from Mayim Bialik, who has a PhD in neuroscience. Saltzberg sees early versions of scripts which need scientific information added to them, and he also points out where the writers, despite their knowledge of science, had made a mistake. He is usually not needed during a taping unless a lot of science, and especially the whiteboard, is involved. Science fiction media. The four main male characters are all avid science fiction, fantasy, and comic book fans and memorabilia collectors. Star Trek in particular is frequently referenced, and Sheldon identifies strongly with the character of Spock, so much so that when he is given a used napkin signed by Leonard Nimoy as a Christmas gift from Penny, he is overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude. "I possess the DNA of Leonard Nimoy?" Star Trek, the original series cast member George Takei has made a cameo, and Leonard Nimoy made a cameo as the voice of Sheldon's vintage Mr. Spock action figure. Both cameos were in dream sequences. Star Trek: The Next Generation cast members Brent Spiner and LeVar Burton have had cameos as themselves, while Wil Wheaton has a recurring role as a fictionalized version of himself. They are also fans of Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, and Doctor Who. In the episode The Ornithophobia Diffusion, when there is a delay in watching Star Wars on Blu-ray, Howard complains, "If we don't start soon, George Lucas is going to change it again," referring to Lucas' controversial alterations to the films. And in The Hot Troll Deviation, Katie Sackhoff of Battlestar Galactica appeared as Howard's fantasy dream girl. The characters have different tastes in franchises, with Sheldon praising Firefly but disapproving of Leonard's enjoyment of Babylon 5. With regard to fantasy, the four make frequent references to the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter novels and movies. Additionally, Howard can speak Sindarin, one of the 2 Elvish languages from the Lord of the Rings. Wednesday night is the group's designated comic book night because that is the day of the week when new comic books are released. The comic book store is run by fellow geek and recurring character Stuart. On a number of occasions, the group members have dressed up as pop culture characters, including The Flash, Aquaman, Frodo Baggins, Superman, Batman, Spock, the Doctor, Green Lantern, and Thor. As a consequence of losing a bet to Stewart and Wil Wheaton, the group members are forced to visit the comic book store dressed as Catwoman, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, and Supergirl. DC Comics announced that, to promote its comics, the company will sponsor Sheldon wearing Green Lantern t-shirts. Various games have been featured, as well as referenced, on the series, for example World of Warcraft, Halo, Mario, Donkey Kong, etc., including fictional games like Mystic Warlords of Ka, which became a reality in 2011, and Rock Paper Scissors Lizard Spock. Leonard and Penny's relationship. One of the recurring plot lines is the relationship between Leonard and Penny. Leonard becomes attracted to Penny in the pilot episode, and his need to do favors for her is a frequent point of humor in the first season. Meanwhile, Penny dates a series of muscular, attractive, unintelligent, and insensitive jocks. Their first long-term relationship begins when Leonard returns from a 3-month expedition to the North Pole in the Season 3 premiere. However, when Leonard tells Penny that he loves her, she realizes she cannot say it back. Both Leonard and Penny go on to date other people, most notably with Leonard dating Raj's sister Priya for much of Season 4. This relationship is jeopardized when Leonard comes to falsely believe that Raj has slept with Penny, and ultimately ends when Priya sleeps with a former boyfriend in the good guy fluctuation. Penny, who admits to missing Leonard in the roommate transmogrification, accepts his request to renew their relationship in the beta test initiation. After Penny suggests having sex in the launch acceleration, Leonard breaks the mood by proposing to her. Penny says no but does not break up with him. She stops a proposal a second time in the tangible affection proof. In the 6th season episode, The 43 Peculiarity, Penny finally tells Leonard that she loves him. Although they both feel jealousy when the other receives significant attention from the opposite sex, Penny is secure enough in their relationship to send him off on an exciting 4-month expedition without worrying in the bon voyage reaction. After Leonard returns, their relationship blossoms over the 7th season. In the penultimate episode The Gorilla Dissolution, Penny admits that they should marry, and when Leonard realizes that she is serious, he proposes with a ring that he had been saving for years. Leonard and Penny decide to elope to Las Vegas in the season 8 finale, but beforehand, wanting no secrets, Leonard admits to kissing another woman, Mandy Chow, Melissa Tang, while on an expedition on the North Sea. Despite this, Leonard and Penny finally elope in the season 9 premiere. Sheldon and Amy's relationship. In the 3rd season finale, Raj and Howard search for a woman compatible with Sheldon and discover neurobiologist Amy Farrah Fowler. Like him, she has a history of social ineptitude and participates in online dating only to fulfill an agreement with her mother. This spawns a storyline in which Sheldon and Amy communicate daily while insisting to Leonard and Penny that they are not romantically involved. In the agreement dissection, Sheldon and Amy talk in her apartment after a night of dancing and she kisses him on the lips. Instead of getting annoyed, Sheldon says fascinating and later asks Amy to be his girlfriend in the Flaming Spittoon acquisition. The same night he draws up the relationship agreement to verify the ground rules of him as her boyfriend and vice versa, similar to his roommate agreement with Leonard. Amy agrees but later regrets not having had a lawyer read through it. In the episode The Launch Acceleration, Amy tries to use her neurobiology bag of tricks to increase the attraction between herself and Sheldon. In the final 5th season episode The Countdown Reflection, Sheldon takes Amy's hand as Howard is launched into space. In the 6th season 1st episode The Date Night Variable, after a dinner in which Sheldon fails to live up to this expectation, Amy gives Sheldon an ultimatum that their relationship is over unless he tells her something from his heart. Amy accepts Sheldon's romantic speech even after learning that it is a line from the first Spider-Man movie. In the Cooper/Kripke version, Sheldon states that he has been working on his discomfort about physical contact and admits that it's a possibility that he could one day have sex with Amy. Amy is revealed to have similar feelings in the love spell Potential. Sheldon explains that he never thought about intimacy with anyone before Amy. The Locomotive Manipulation is the first episode in which Sheldon initiates a kiss with Amy. Although initially done in a fit of sarcasm, he discovers that he enjoys the feeling. Consequently, Sheldon slowly starts to open up over the rest of the season, and starts a more intimate relationship with Amy. However, in the season finale, Sheldon leaves temporarily to cope with several changes and Amy becomes distraught. However, in the prom equivalency, he hides in his room to avoid going to a mock prom reenactment with her. In the resulting standoff, Amy is about to confess that she loves Sheldon, but he surprises her by saying that he loves her too. This prompts Amy to have a panic attack. In the season 8 finale, Sheldon and Amy get into a fight about commitment on their 5th anniversary. Amy tells Sheldon that she needs to think about the future of their relationship, unaware that Sheldon was about to propose to her. Season 9 sees Sheldon harassing Amy about making up her mind until she breaks up with him. Both struggle with singlehood and trying to be friends for the next few weeks until they reunite in episode 10 and have sex for the first time on Amy's birthday. In the season 11 premiere, Sheldon proposes to Amy and she accepts. The two get married in the 11th season finale. Soft Kitty. In the show, the song Soft Kitty was described by Sheldon as a song sung by his mother when he was ill. Its repeated use in the series popularized the song. A scene depicting the origin of the song in Sheldon's childhood is depicted in an episode of Young Sheldon, which aired on February 1, 2018. It shows Sheldon's mother Mary singing the song to her son, who is suffering with the flu. Howard's mother. In scenes set at Howard's home, He interacts with his rarely seen mother, voiced by Carol Ann Susie until her death, by shouting from room to room in the house. She similarly interacts with other characters in this manner. She reflects the Jewish mother stereotype in some ways, such as being overly controlling of Howard's adult life and sometimes trying to make him feel guilty about causing her trouble. She is dependent on Howard, as she requires him to help her with her wig and makeup in the morning. Howard, in turn, is attached to his mother to the point where she still cuts his meat for him, takes him to the dentist, does his laundry and grounds him when he returns home after briefly moving out. Until Howard's marriage to Bernadette in the 5th season finale, Howard's former living situation led Leonard's psychiatrist mother to speculate that he may suffer from some type of pathology, and Sheldon to refer to their relationship as Oedipal. In season 8, Howard's mother dies in her sleep while in Florida, which devastates Howard and Stewart, who briefly lived with Mrs. Wolowitz. Apartment building elevator. In the apartment building where Sheldon, Leonard and Penny, and later Amy, live, the elevator has been out of order throughout the first 11 seasons, forcing characters to have to use the stairs. Stairway conversations between characters occur in almost every episode, often serving as a transition between longer scenes. A season 3 episode reveals that the elevator was broken when Leonard was experimenting with rocket fuel. Vanity cards. Like most shows created by Chuck Lorre, The Big Bang Theory ends by showing for 1 second a vanity card written by Lorre after the credits, followed by the Warner Brothers television closing logo. These cards are archived on Lorre's website.